Okay, so very proud of Miss Patty, who was able to mostly get his feet picked, which is perfect. All but one. Well, there's still time. There's still time. Okay, so let's turn around and see what we have going on. Oh, Donkey showed up.
Of course, Donkey.
Hey, look at this. So I think she might think about rolling in the sand, which would be fine. That'd be great. So again, I'm gonna just reward her for her staying nice and quiet and calm. Yeah, good. All right, now I think I'm gonna go back out into the round pen with her, and let's see if we can't do a little more getting her around and over that jump, and without her getting worked up, and calm her slow for sure, and maybe we'll even incorporate, we'll see. If she gets a little feisty, we might open the trailer door and see if we can use that to help us. Here with you. We are. Now, she hasn't had much mat training yet at all. And so that's definitely something she doesn't know how to do very much. So I'm going to make sure I have my hand on my clicker. And we're going to send her right here. Good. And then right on the mat. And good. That's very good. So she targeted the cone. So I'm going to go ahead and reward that because that was really cool. And now let's see if I can get her to place on the mat. But this is new for good. So she's checking it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Are you counting? So that's something that you want to sometimes reward that kind. Good place. Good girl. Good girl place. Now this horse does a lot of cool tricks too. And so we'll see what we can get her to do right now. And I think we might. Hopefully you can see. I'm so sorry if you can't. Good lift. Good girl. So hopefully you got to see that. She's very good at that. Yes, lift. Lift. Good. Perfect. Good girl. All right, that was cool, you guys. I hope you guys got to see that. She's really good at lift. She was, I'm really good at knocking over cones too. Would you like that? No. And we have 4 spectators over there. We're fighting you guys. Yes, and she goes, I can knock over a cone and lift my leg all at the same time. Okay. So because she's still here, right, and she's staying nice and relaxed, and she was offering a lot of really cool behaviors, even on her own, right? So she's definitely saying, I'm having a good time, so I want to keep doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and change things up a little bit from games and tricks. Now that I know I have her emotionally and mentally where I want her to be, now is when I can start working on my riding type skills, right? So that's, I think, the thing that I see most people just don't spend enough time to really develop that relationship on the ground using positive reinforcement, but using games and things like that. I don't want to have any trouble with this thing. You're really sensitive to your horse. It can be stressful for them if you're struggling with equipment. I want to reward that. So don't take that for granted, right? If you're struggling with a buckle or something like that, and they stand quietly for you while you mess with it, that's a really rewarding thing for them. Okay, so this could be very scary for her. I have no idea. So we'll have to see. So I'm going to just run this line across her back and just fold this like I would a set of reins. Perfect. And so again, I have her nice and staying nice and pretty relaxed. Now she's walking off. So I'm going to go ahead and just use her forward momentum to practice a little bit. So notice I didn't ask her to lunge. I didn't ask her to really do much of anything. She just got nervous and started walking. And so I don't need to use a lunge whip to try to encourage her from behind because she's self-soothing right now by just walking. And so mostly I just want to keep all these ropes safe and out of the way so she doesn't trip on them or get scared. And I might even up my game a little bit and try to get that over her back end. And I'm struggling with that a little bit, but that's okay. Girl. So she's just really nervous. And so I'm just grateful to have any kind of movement out of her at all, and that she is not getting panicky, right? And so you just want to reward that, and also now notice that she stopped, and because she's like, okay, I didn't think I'm as nervous as I thought I was. Yes, you're very brave. You are very brave. And so it doesn't matter if the horse is 2 years old or 20 years old. All of these exercises are going to be the same. It doesn't matter if they've been ridden 4 times or 140,000 times. Everybody has a bad day. You need to kind of check in with everybody where they're at. I'm just so short, I can't get this rope over her. Good. So I finally got it over. Now I'm going to shift a little bit here to driving, okay? So really that's what I was trying to do all along, was just drive her. I wasn't really super interested in trying to lunge her with 2 lead ropes. What I want to do is basically work on a little bit of rein control. Now she's pulling on me pretty hard, so I just don't want to encourage that. Good. Very good. It's not perfect for sure, but mostly as long as we are having some movement, we're not being tripped up, everything's fine. So what we're doing is we're just practicing taking some commands from some reins. And so just like we would be when we're on their back. So I think it's a nice thing for us to break down the rein aids separately from the carrying a rider on your back aids. So positive reinforcement style still, you could say I'm a little bit R negative here, but I'm really not, because I'm not asking for this movement with a motion of a whip. In fact, I'm not asking for any movement at all. Everything you see here, I'm just going along with her. I am not at all asking her. She's just nervous about it, nervous about the feel of it. So again, she's self-soothing by just walking. That's okay, right? I mean, so what are we doing right now? We are literally practicing responding well to rein aids. And so that's what I want to do, is just have her practice that. What that feels like on each side of the halter. So again, we don't need to use a bit. We don't need to use anything kind of special. And I'm just going with her as long as she keeps walking. I still have not really given her much input at all. But notice how she's rounding and relaxing. Good. She's very easily choosing to go over that. Very good. So I'm just going to click her a little bit. Very good. Nice. This is very good. So we're just practicing standing quietly with the driving lines, right? So I'm not asking for her to do much of anything. There. All right, would you like to walk on? So we can try to ask her and now if she'll walk on, and we'll see. She does know that command. Good girl. And it took her a minute to respond, but then she did. Walk on. And so from a positive reinforcement standpoint, I don't have a lot of options back here if she chooses not to walk. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I am putting a little bit more effort in here because I wanted to turn her around. And then she comes to me for clarification on what I want. And that's great. And so because clearly I didn't really want to put that level 4 or 5 on her. She's doing a great job. And so that's really all we're going to do is just practice doing some movements around in here. It never hurts for them to practice dragging ropes around also, just so they can learn what it feels like. Even though I'm not a huge fan of stepping on my things, I am actually out of treats. And so in order to minimize damaging the bond that I have built with her over the last few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and take these off and go refill my treat bag. Notice she's still here with me, so I'm going to click her. And we do still need to groom her and pick her feet, but I think we'll have a better chance of doing it now that she's had a few minutes to just release some tension and notice that she's coming closer to me, heads down nice and below the line. So we know we've done things right, that we have built some trust and strengthened and deepened our relationship with the exercise that we just did.